Good evening, Shanawaz. Thank you so much for taking the time to connect with us today. I truly appreciate your willingness to share your experience and insight with the emerging HR professionals. So before we begin, it's my pleasure to introduce my friend Shanawaz Rafeeq. Shanawaz is a people and culture leader with over a decade of experience across early stage startup technology companies and global organizations, including Uber and Google in India. He has built and scaled people functions across fast growing businesses with deep expertise in talent acquisition, employee experience, organizational development, and people strategy. In the UAE, he has played a key role in scaling teams at Bottom, and he's currently leading the people and culture functions at Huru, where he's focused on building scalable HR systems, strengthening culture, and enabling organizational growth. We are really happy to have you with us today, Shanavas.
Thank you so much for that introduction, Lijita.
With that, I am also delighted to introduce my mentee, Anjali Khalko. Anjali is currently pursuing her PGPM in HR at IIM Trichinopalli. She has demonstrated a strong interest in HR domain and is eager to learn from seasoned practitioners like you. So I thought this conversation would be a wonderful opportunity for her to gain practical perspective on the HR industry and the evolving HR landscape in the UAE. Thank you again. Thank you for giving us the opportunity. With that, I will hand it over to Anjali to take it forward from here. Thank you.
Hi, it's an honor and a pleasure to be a part of this. So, my question to Sanawaz is, since you have worked extensively in the UAE, how would you describe the work culture for HR professionals there? And what career opportunities do you see for someone looking to build a career in HR in the region?
All right. So see, UAE is a very dynamic market, right, for HR professionals because of the sheer diversity that we have. On any given day, you will be interacting, speaking with more than 20, 30 nationalities, each bringing in different perspectives, work experiences, communications styles, cultural nuances. So, what makes HR unique is that it's no longer a administrative function, right? Organizations increasingly expect us to be a business partner, someone who understands their business, workforce planning, requirement from what business really needs, what kind of people we need to hire, business growth plans, and cultural fitment. All of these are very, very critical. To answer your second part of the question, yeah, I mean, opportunities are significant, right? Especially in sectors like fintech, technology, AI, healthcare, logistics, you name it, right? And companies are looking for HRs like us who can help attract talent, build strong cultures, improve employee experience, and support their growth, right? This is definitely, there's enough and more opportunities. I think my advice is, like, as a HR professional, that UAE should focus, for entering into the UAE market, you should focus on developing both people skills as well as business acumen, right? Because I've seen some of the best HR leaders who really understand business. They're just not filling positions, working on some employee policies. It's just not that, right? I think they really understand the business well. They go talk to the business, understand their requirement, what they're really trying to solve, what kind of people do we need to hire. So I think those skills to really understand the business acumen side of things and both the people skills as well, that's something that you really need to develop. So yeah, this, I hope this answers your question.
Thank you for sharing those insights. It was especially interesting to understand the opportunities and dynamics of working there. Building on the idea of career growth and entering into the workforce, I would like to move to my next question. Having spent significant time in talent acquisition, what are some of the most common mistakes that candidates make during interviews that prevent them from standing out or securing the role?
Had that opportunity to recruit across multiple industries, multiple functions, and regions as well, right? And those companies were early stage startups, huge organizations, scaling rapidly across regions, right? I think one thing I have learned is that recruitment is not really about filling positions. Um, Definitely, that's what I thought when I first joined in. You have an opening, you have a candidate, that's pretty much about it, right? But I think it's also about solving business problems through people. Now, over the years, I've obviously had an opportunity to interview thousands of people, right? Thousands of candidates. And one of the most common mistakes I see is that candidates focus too much on the responsibilities, on day-to-day tasks, what they do, and but very little on the outcomes and the actual impact of it. So many candidates tell me, I manage recruitment, I handle employee engagement, I work on marketing campaigns, I develop one part of the product. But you know, very few people who actually know how to really put their work across are the ones who talk about impact. So they would say like, okay, I've made this much improvement to employee engagement. This is the I've decreased, in terms of the delays in the product, right, during signups or whatever it is, right? I think the number is what really speaks. What business result did your campaign deliver, or how many positions did you fill? How much did the employee engagement improve? This is where the impact actually speaks for itself, because employers want to hire for impact. They don't care about like what do you do on a day-to-day basis. I think the second mistake that I see is lack of preparation. They are often like they know very little about the company they are interviewing with. Like you get an interview invite, you're just going in there super unprepared, not structured at all, answering, you know, uh, really unorganized in a way, right, where you don't know which one to answer first, which one to answer later. There's no structure to an answer, essentially, right? I think that preparation has to be there. There's no excuse for it. Because if you're going in for an interview without understanding business, products, what are the challenges they're trying to solve, then definitely that's not something, there's no excuse for that.
That was really insightful, especially for students who will soon be entering the job market. Taking this conversation a step further and reflecting on personal growth, my next question is, looking back on your career journey, what's one piece of advice you wish someone had given you when you were just starting out?
I think I would be super. I know this is a super common thing that I've obviously heard with a lot of people, right? I think every one of us start looking at titles, very early on in the career. That I want a good title, I want a great package in the beginning itself, I want good salaries. But I think definitely, if I were to go back and tell my younger self, don't chase titles, right? Definitely don't chase for compensation that you're seeing elsewhere. Like my friend is earning so much, I see my colleagues, or somebody, my classmates or batchmates are earning so much. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Early in our careers, we are looking at, okay, next designation, how much can I earn, like in the first year, right? But I think those things do matter. I'm not saying don't think about it, but what truly compounds is your capability, right? That experience that you actually get. So every role that you look at should teach you something new, whether it's how business operates, how leaders make decisions, how teams succeed, how customers think. Just observe, right, in your niche areas. Just see how businesses really function. Because the minute you start thinking about HR as an administrative function, just I'm here to filling positions, then that's when you don't grow. I think people who actually build exceptional careers not necessarily move very fast, right? They are the ones who keep learning, keep upskilling themselves, really understand how the business model is looking like. I think that's where you have to focus on. I think the other thing is your reputation, because especially in this market, there's a strong reference system. People who have worked with, they would there's more likely chance that they would refer you to the next organization, or somebody's looking for something, they would be like, hey, you know what, I have a great talent that you should speak to. So I think that reputation becomes your biggest asset. Skills get you hired, but I think reputation or the credibility becomes like that creates opportunities for you. So yeah, these two things I would put it on the top.
Thank you. The final question is, what advice would you give to an MBA HR graduate or fresher who wants to build a successful career in HR?
Well, I think the first and foremost I would say is really go and research about what HR is all about, because I think a lot of them jump into careers because that's something they've heard from their friends, or they've seen it somewhere. Because when you decide on doing something, that's a career that you're planning to build, right? That's a long-term game. There, whatever it is, for 20 years, 30 years that you're going to work next, you need to be really sure about. And I'm not saying that you can't pivot, but obviously you need to have some clarity before you take up a decision that you want to do something. um, I think many freshers, when they obviously enter the workforce, believing that HR is primarily about recruitment or employee relations, but I think in reality, modern, like at least the HRs who work now, they touch every aspect of the business performance, right? So my advice is, I think one, as I mentioned, learn the business, really understand what is the business model like, how revenue functions, how cost functions, who are our customers, how do customers think, our operations, growth. They so HRs, the best ones I have seen is they understand business very well. They are business leaders, right? I think two, data literacy, because I think everything is data today, right? Even for HRs, like learning the basics of analytics, because it's getting super ridiculously data driven. Like whatever you have to do, you need to look at data, right? So workforce metrics, learn analytics piece, how to make decisions using data. That's definitely on the second point. On the third, improving communication skills, because if you're looking at working in a diverse workforce like UAE, you'll have to communicate your thoughts, your work appropriately, right? Whether you're speaking to a CEO, your hiring managers for recruitment, whether you're talking to your businesses, whatever it is, I think the ability to communicate clearly will define your effectiveness. Uh, I think the last bit is like stay curious, right? Like I'm a very curious person. I like to see what's happening, who's doing what. That curiousness keeps you active, and you know what's happening. Whether it's technology now, AI, obviously you have to keep learning about it. Workforce expectations, talent trends that are evolving, and these are things which are changing very rapidly, right? That's where I think that curiosity helps, right, in terms of being on top of your game. So so yeah, and be patient, right? I think your careers are not built quickly. uh, Understand, learn your business, learn what's out there, and think of it as a long game and what you really want to achieve. A lot of things that don't go well, but you still continue to do good work. Uh,
Ye-
like I would say, put in your hard work, put in your 100%. Be kind to others, because this is a profession where it's a you play the role behind the scenes, right? Because you don't get credibility often, but real true HRs don't do for credibility. They get the fulfillment from somewhere else. And Lijita is definitely one of them. So I think, yeah, just be a good person. Like I think that's where a true HR is all about. So yeah, all the best and be in touch, right? If there's anything I can
Yes.
help
Yes.
all the time. So
Yes, and keep learning. And I would say he's one person whom you can reach out to anytime. You might not get him on the phone, but LinkedIn, he's always available. If you want to reach out, ask queries, he's just there. And he also supports people offline. If you want to have a one-on-one mentorship, if you want to spread the word, we are there. He's that's one of his passion too, to handhold the next generation and take them forward. So yeah, make the best out of it. I know Anjali is there, but in case anybody wants to reach out to him in person, who's exploring opportunities in the UAE, now you know whom to reach out to. It's a great opportunity for Anjali to meet you. someone who's
Hopefully.
spared nearly 40 minutes of your time from your busy schedule. Amidst that, you have taken a new role. I'm truly, truly honored to have you with us today. Thank you so much, Shanawaz. And I'm sure this experience will not only help Anjali, but all the aspiring professionals out there.
Most welcome, and this has been a great experience for me as well. So thanks for inviting Nijita, and yeah, I wish you guys all the best.